سناخذ جزء من الوقت. الآن نحن لايف حتى نتمكن من إرسال الروابط للناس.
اللهم صل وسلم على اللهم
إرسال الروابط للناس.
اللهم صل وسلم اللهم صل وسلم اللهم
شيخنا الله يحفظك معنا.
نعم معك حبيبي.
إن شاء الله تعالى يا شيخنا، فقط حتى تبدأ الحلقة 5 دقائق نريد من الشيخ فؤاد حتى يتولى موضوع التقديم. أول شيء نقطة الترحيب بالضيف. أي نعم، بس الناس ما دخلت لا ممكن نعمل ريموف من هنا، أو ممكن نكتم الصوت أيضا. لا بس أيوة جزاك الله خير. فهناك الترحيب بالضيف، التعريف بالبرنامج، برنامج دروس المحاضرات هذه إلى يوم 19 إلى يوم 30 في الشهر إن شاء الله. وأيضا عندنا آلية المتابعة والتواصل. الرقم موجود هنا لمن يريد أن يقدم أي سؤال أو استفسار، موجود في الشاشة أو عبر الشاتنج. والحلقة سوف تكون حول هذا الموضوع اللي موجود على الشاشة. أيضا من القضايا التي يمكن أن نناقشها، هناك قضايا سأل عنها الناس يا شيخ هيثم.
أيوة.
ربما نحتاج نطرحها عليك في قضية الجمع بين الصلاتين المغرب والعشاء المتكرر بسبب الأمطار. هناك من يتحرج من هذا الأمر، يقول يعني نحن وضعنا في البلد هذه دائما ما تكون يعني الأمطار يعني حاجز ومانع، فهل هناك حرج شرعي جمع الناس؟ هذا سؤال.
طيب.
وهناك أيضا سؤال متكرر شيخنا في قضية لماذا هناك تباين في وقت دخول صلاة الفجر، لا سيما والشهر الكريم على الأبواب؟ من أين تأتي الإشكاليات وماذا تنصحون؟ وأيضا نعم، وأيضا هناك ما يتعلق بقضية نصيحة عامة في موضوع دور المسجد وإغلاق المسجد أو عدم إغلاقه بسبب أيضا الجائحة. توجيه عام في هذا الموضوع. هذه 3 أو 4 محاور غير المحور اللي حتبدأ
يعني كل هذا يبغى له الله يبارك. طب أجل خلينا المرة هذه نتكلم بس عشان الوقت يعني.
نعم.
عن الهوم والستودنت فاينانس ممكن نتكلم عنه مرة ثانية، أو ماشي نتكلم عنه باختصار كجواب لسؤال. اسألوا سؤال لأنه كثير الأشياء. طيب وأنا أحتاج إني أمشي الساعة 7 بس عشان أصلي العشاء. متى تصلوا العشاء ولا صليتوا؟
في 7.
طيب كيف متى ننتهي من المحاضرة؟
لا طبعا احنا هنا في المركز، اذا الحلقه امتدت المقدم سيبقى معك ونحن نصلي، لا اشكال، فيها منفعه الناس. اي نعم
ماشي. الان انتم شايفين الشاشه تبعتي ولا مش شايفينها؟
الا بلا شايفينها شيخ.
ايش فيها؟
الشاشه ما فيها شيء الان، ما في مشاركه، صورتك فقط.
عجيب.
نعم.
ليش ما في مشاركه؟ في مشاركة. اللهم صل وسلم على رسول الله. يمكن الكفار سووا شيء عشان ما شو اسمه ممكن الكفار لأنه هم طيب لا يؤمن شرهم.
شيخنا انت لايف.
انا لايف.
ايه لايف الحين.
يعني ننتبه في الكلام يعني.
ايوه
يعني نروح بعدين تودينا في داهية. الله يهديك بس. طيب شفتوا الشاشة تبعتي ولا لا؟
ايوه لا
ما شفتوها؟
موجودة
الا نعم.
فيها ايش فيها الشاشة؟
تريد ان نشاركها يا شيخ الان؟
اي ايوه هذا فيها هذا. طيب ممتاز. اللهم صل وسلم على رسول الله. قولوا اللهم صل وسلم على رسول الله. 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 اللهم صل وسلم. اللهم صل وسلم على رسول الله. 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 اللهم صل وسلم على رسول الله.
نبدا يا شيخنا. خلاص
اللهم صل وسلم على رسول الله.
نبدا شيخنا.
انا جاهز. تفضلوا. يلا بسم الله.
Alhamdulillah. All praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We praise Him, we seek His guidance, we seek His forgiveness. And indeed, whomever Allah guides, none can mislead him. And whomever Allah allows to go astray, none can guide him. Alhamdulillah. We start our session today with a new project and program of Da'wah for Masjid Quba, a conference that is beneficial for the whole family, and which we invited great scholars from around the UK. And today we have the honor and the pleasure to welcome our Sheikh Dr. Haithem Alhaddad, who is well known in the UK and Europe. And inshallah ta'ala, the Sheikh is going to talk to us about different issues, but the main one is buying a house with conventional mortgage. The Islamic finance of buying a house, how can you Sheikh will put that, inshallah, and after that, the Sheikh is going to talk to us about a couple of issues that are also present in our community at the moment in terms of the COVID-19, in terms of how to find stuff. Is it okay to combine each time that the weather is not good or there's rain? And also, if he has got some time to shed a light on the student finance as well. So I don't want to take more time from the Sheikh. I'd like to welcome Dr. Haithem. We are very happy and we appreciate Jazakallah khair for accepting the da'wah and the call. And inshallah, I would like to...
Jazakallah khair. Okay. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن نبينا محمدا عبده ورسوله. My dear respected brothers and sisters, let me get into the subject so we do not delay you and we do not delay everyone, especially in this blessed night, the night of Al-Jum'ah, the 9th of Jumada al-Thaniya, the 9th of Jumada al-Thaniya 1442, which is the 21st of January 2021. And I appreciate and I thank the brothers in Masjid Quba for allowing me to share a few ideas and a few thoughts about this important subject. The subject that we are talking about today is related to to finance in general, and related to purchasing houses using the conventional mortgage method. My dear respected brothers and sisters, in order to make this discussion very focused, especially the introduction, my introduction, very focused and to the point, I would like, first of all, to give summary, a very concise summary about the halal and haram in Islamic finance. I'm not going to talk about Islamic finance. Many people, unfortunately, they think that when we talk about Islamic finance, they think that we are talking about halal and haram. Halal and haram is part of Islamic finance. Islamic finance is wider than what is halal and what is haram. There is the concept, there is the philosophy, there is the wisdom, there is the application. There are so many things. However, because of time limitation and the purpose of this discussion, I would like just to give a brief summary of what is halal and haram in Islamic finance. Okay. The fiqh of or jurisprudence of Islamic finance is based on two important principles or maxims, just based on two. The first one is the original principle that any activity regarding Islamic finance, any transaction is allowed. This is the original principle. And in order to take it out from permissibility, we need a dalil, we need a proof that this is not something that is allowed. We don't need to prove that this is allowed in order to say that it is allowed. We don't need. The proof is there. هو الذي خلق لكم ما في الأرض جميعا. And this maxim is a matter of consensus in all by all scholars, that the original principle in in financial activities is the permissibility. And if someone were to say that this particular transaction is not permissible, he or she, they have to present a proof that this is not permissible. And we don't need to spend much time on this. And as I said, it is a matter of consensus. There are so many direct and indirect verses from the Quran and the Sunnah that confirm this principle. The second important principle is what makes a transaction or an activity within finance as haram. Now we are coming to the exception. So the original principle that everything is allowed. Now what are the exceptions? Okay, the exceptions can be categorized in 4 categories. Okay, first of all, the first category is what is prohibited because of the rights of Allah Jalla Ala. Yeah. And the 3 other categories are prohibited because of the right of Allah Jalla Ala and the right of creation. But the first one is prohibited solely for the right of Allah Jalla Ala, and that is one thing. Allah Jalla Ala gave an example of that when he says, يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا نودي للصلاة من يوم الجمعة فاسعوا إلى ذكر الله وذروا البيع ذلكم خير لكم لعلكم تذكرون. O you who believe, when the call for Salatul Jum'ah, and the scholar said that this is the second call for Salatul Jum'ah upon those who are obliged to attend Salatul Jum'ah, when the call is raised, then you have to stop financial transactions or bay' and then go and attend the Salah. Now, this is so any financial transaction that takes place after the adhan of al-Jum'ah, after the second adhan of al-Jum'ah, for those who 2 adhans, for those who 3 adhans, like some Malikis, after the 3rd adhan where the khatib goes to the member, then that transaction is haram. Some scholars said that it is not allowed, some scholars said that it is invalid, and some other scholars said it is valid, but it is haram. Okay, we don't need to spend much time on that, it is clear. Then the second category has, or the other 3 categories, they are prohibited because Allah Jalla Ala said so, okay, because of the right of Allah Jalla Ala, and because of the rights of people. Okay, and those 3 categories can be can be listed in the following list. Yeah, the first category is what is ظلم in of itself. What is ظلم in of itself? Okay, and what is ظلم in of itself? The top level of it is riba. And briefly, I think everyone knows about the prohibition of riba. It is one of the major sins, as the scholar said, that Allah never waged war against those who commit any particular sin, except against those who consume riba. Yeah, Allah Jalla wa ala says, فَإِن لَمْ تَفْعَلُوا فَأْذَنُوا بِحَرْبٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. So Allah Jalla wa ala and His Messenger, they are waging war against those who what? Consume riba. And of course, simply Allah Jalla wa ala says, وَأَحَلَّ اللَّهُ الْبَيْعَ وَحَرَّمَ الرِّبَا. Allah Jalla wa ala made bay halal and made bay halal and riba haram. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, لعن الله الربا وآكله وموكله وكاتبه وشاهديه هم في الإثم سواء. Hadith Jabir. Very grave sin. Allah cursed riba. Allah cursed the one who consumes riba. Allah Jalla wa ala consumes the one who gives riba. Allah Jalla wa ala cursed the one who witnesses the transaction of riba, means facilitating it. Allah Jalla wa ala also curses the one who writes the transaction of riba. Again, different type of facilitation of the transaction of riba. Okay, not only that, I will just mention a brief story about the prohibition of riba. Sorry, can you hear me?
No, we can hear you. Yes.
Okay, yeah. Because the feedback was stopped for a while, which is better. And then, yeah, okay. So if you can stop the feedback, that will be better because it is creating some noise. Anyway, there is a profound story, although I don't want to prolong the discussion regarding the prohibition of riba, because the prohibition of riba is well known. All Muslims know about it. So a man came to Imam Malik and he said, "Oh, Imam, I saw a dream. In the dream, I saw that I was intoxicated. I drank khamr. And as a result of this, I became intoxicated, drunk, and I was trying to hold the mood because I was drunk. I didn't know what is happening." So he said, "I was disgusted of myself because I was doing this stupid thing. Then I said to myself, Wallahi, my wife is taliq. Yeah, my wife is divorced from me. If there is a sin that is worse than al-khamr, than drinking khamr." So then he said, "Actually, I thought of myself." Yeah. So he saw that dream. When he woke up, he was disgusted at himself. And he said, Wallahi, he was disgusted at this sin, drinking alcohol. And he said, Wallahi, this sin, which is drinking khamr, alcohol, is the worst sin. And my wife is divorced from me if I consume something worse than alcohol. So then he said, I thought about it. I said, maybe there is a sin that is worse than alcohol. Maybe there is a sin that is worse than consuming khamr. So he went to Imam Malik and he said to him, "Do you think that my wife now is divorcing from me because there might be a sin that is worse than the consumption of khamr?" So Imam Malik, he said, "Well, let me think about it. Come back again." So the man came back. He was worried, anxious, because he doesn't want his wife to be divorced. So he came back the second day and he said, "Oh, Imam, what is the outcome?" Imam Malik, he said, "No, give me more time. I need to think about it." So the man came the third day and Imam Malik, to the shock, he told him, "Your wife has been divorced." He said, "Imam, why is this?" is there anything worse than consuming alcohol? Imam Malik told him, yes. Yeah, there is something that is worse than alcohol. He said, what is that, ya Imam, that is worse than alcohol? Imam Malik told him, it is what? It is riba. Okay, it is riba. Now, sorry, I have to ask you between now and then, is my voice clear?
Yes, alhamdulillah, it's very clear.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. So, is my picture coming or is not coming? Is everything all right? Because I feel
yes, your picture is there, the presentation is there. Alhamdulillah, everything's clear.
okay. Yeah. So the look, Imam Malik, as many other scholars, considered consuming riba worse than a ma'siyah. That is worse than what? That is worse than drinking alcohol. Okay. As Ibn Mas'ud radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and please do remember this statement, he said, الربا وإن كثر فإن عاقبته إلى قل. Yeah, the riba, even if it becomes, it looks that it expands your money, in reality, it destroys your money. Okay, that's why never ever imagine, my dear respected brothers and sisters, this is a very philosophical and important point. Never imagine that riba is a solution. Okay, never imagine that riba is a solution. يمحق الله الربا ويربي الصدقات. Allah Jalla wa Ala destroys riba, and Allah Jalla wa Ala maximizes the sadaqah. Okay. So the first type of this category, yeah, is riba. We said that there are 3 categories that are prohibited because of dhulm, and the first category is what? Is riba. Yeah, the first category includes riba. It includes also the second one, it includes cheating, and this is clear. ليس منا من غش or من غشنا فليس منا, different narrations. Okay, and there are, the third one is taking the wealth of others against their own will. Okay, either by ghish, by force, by deception. We can say that this is part of the ghish. This is not part of the ghish. Don't worry about it. We can consider it as part of a cheating. So we can say that the first category includes riba, yeah, and ghish. Now, the second category of what is prohibited because of the rights of people, okay, what leads to dhulm, even people might not think that it is dhulm. Yeah, it leads to dhulm, but the people in the beginning, they don't think that it is dhulm, and both parties will agree to it, like gambling. Now, gambling, the both parties, they are happy to gamble. Yes, but in reality, it leads to dhulm. Why? Because it is, as Allah Jalla wa Ala says, وَلَا تَأْكُلُوا أَمْوَالَكُمْ بَيْنَكُمْ بِالْبَاطِلِ, أكل أموال الناس بالباطل. And Allah Jalla wa Ala says, yeah, حرمت عليكم الميتة والدم ولحم الخنزير وما أهل لغير الله به. No, sorry, that إنما الخمر والميسر والأنصاب والأزلام رجس من عمل الشيطان. إنما الخمر والميسر. الميسر, yes, the scholar said this is the gambling. طيب, what is gambling? Briefly, brothers and sisters, gambling, the first main condition of gambling is winning money. Yes, winning money, okay, based on luck. Yeah, winning money based on luck, okay, when you pay for that luck. So it is money, it actually, there is an element of riba in it. It is money for money, but you earn the money based on luck. That's why the gambling in this form is worse than riba, because it has riba in it and it has luck. You earn the money based on luck, such as the lottery. You pay whatever, I don't know how much is the lottery, £1, £5, whatever. So you paid money, and you might get 100,000 or 1 million pounds by luck. So you paid money, you earned money by luck. So the first thing is money for more money, which is riba. We will define riba now, okay? And it is based on luck. The third category, okay, the third category is selling or buying or involving in any transaction that leads to haram or fasad, okay, such as selling alcohol. Yeah, that's why the Prophet ﷺ prohibited what? Selling alcohol. لعن الله الخمر وشاربها وبائعها وحاملها. Allah cursed al-khamr, and the one who sells it and the one who carries that, okay, because it helps people to do fasad, okay. And Allah Jalla Ala, of course, fasad is well known that it is haram. It is one of the main principles of haram. Inna Allah la yuhibbul mufsidin. Okay, so this is one type. Another type of this category is causing fasad between Muslims, and that's why the Prophet ﷺ حرم البيع على بيع أخيه المسلم. لا يبيع أحدكم على بيع أخيه المسلم. Someone should not buy or oversell, okay, over his Muslim brother. What is this? Okay, I bought something. I went to the market, what is that called? Sunday market, for example, or any bargaining, or any not auction. Be careful. Yeah, auction is different. So I saw a brother who bought, for example, who bought a mobile phone. Okay, Samsung or what is the other one? iPhone. Yeah, we don't want to give promotion for any brand. Whatever. Yeah, iPhone. What is the latest now? 11 or Samsung S12 or whatever. And he bought it for 700 pounds. Yeah, we are talking about Muslims. So I told him, what? You bought it for 700 pounds? No. He cheated you. Why? I can sell it for you for 650 or for 600 pounds. This will create hatred between me and the other seller. Same thing for buying. Okay, let us not get into that. So these are the three categories that Allah Jalla Ala prohibited them because of what? Yeah, because of the rights of people, and of course because of his right, which again, riba, cheating, and riba and cheating. Yeah, riba and cheating in one category. The other thing is gambling and what is equal to gambling. And the third one is any transaction that leads to fasad, such as selling haram things that are leading to haram, or selling over the transaction carried out by your brother. Okay, so these are three categories that are prohibited because of the rights of Allah Jalla Ala and the rights of people. And the fourth category is what is prohibited because of the right of Allah Jalla Ala, which is what? Selling or carrying out some financial transactions after the Jum'ah becomes obliged on you to attend. Okay, after Salat al-Jum'ah or attending Jum'ah, whether Salah and Khutbah became obliged upon you, or you became obliged to attend the Salah. Okay, now I think all of these are clear. Let us come to riba. What is riba, my dear respected brothers and sisters? The Prophet ﷺ gave us a very simple definition of riba, very profound. And actually, the Quran gave also a very profound definition and very simple, straightforward definition of riba. Allah Jalla wa Ala divided the transactions into two types: bay' wa halallahu al-bay'a wa harrama al-riba. So, what is riba? Riba, when you sell, okay, when you exchange certain items, yes, and those items you exchange this for an amount that is bigger than this. Okay, again, when you are exchanging certain items, the scholars call them the ribawi items. So those items, if you take the same type and you exchange, okay, you make any transaction that you are exchanging this item with the same item, for whatever reason, you make one of the counterparties more than the others. Okay, let us not get into more details of that, but if this is recorded and think about it again, you will find that this is the actual definition of riba, and it is a very comprehensive definition. Yeah, now there is no time to explain it, but I will just make it simple by saying that riba, yeah, is exchanging money for more money. Yeah, or exchanging a ribawi item for the same ribawi type, okay, more or less. The Prophet ﷺ identified 6 ribawi items. The Prophet ﷺ said in Hadith Ubadah, الذهب بالذهب والفضة بالفضة, gold for gold, silver for silver. Then, see, these are 2 types. Then the Prophet ﷺ mentioned 4 other types: barley for barley, dates for dates, salt for salt, and wheat for wheat. The Prophet ﷺ said they have to be exchanged hand to hand and what? The same. If you are exchanging between 2 different parts, then it should be hand to hand. Let us not go into the details of riba, but simply, as I said, imagine these types called money. Yeah, imagine gold is money, silver is money, dates is money, salt is money. Okay, the word money covers each one of them. Imagine, so when you exchange money for a different amount of money of the same type of money, then this is riba. So if you are exchanging gold for gold, one of them is more than the other, either more or less, then this is riba. Okay, and the scholar said whatever is equal to gold or silver or barley or salt or wheat or dates, then that is also included in the riba. So if I give you 1 kg of gold and you gave it to me back 1.2 kg of gold, then this is riba, whether we exchange it hand to hand or whether we exchange it later. The key condition is if we exchange, if we are making a transaction whereby we are exchanging the same type, gold for gold, it has to be the same. 1 kg for 1 kg, 100 gram of silver for 100 gram of silver, 10 tons of wheat for 10 tons of wheat, no more, no less, nothing extra, whether it is wheat plus barley, whether it is wheat plus gold, no, it should be the same. This is if we are exchanging them, okay, the same type. If we are exchanging gold for silver, yes, because we are exchanging between the ribawi items, then we are allowed to exchange gold for more gold, sorry. Gold for different amount of silver, because we are exchanging between two types, not the same type, not the same ribawi type. So gold for more silver, which means 1 kg of gold for 10 kg of silver. Yes, then that is allowed, provided that we do it promptly in the same time. 1 ton of dates for 10 tons of salt, that is absolutely fine, okay, because they are of different types, provided that we are doing it promptly. Now, there is one more case, which is exchanging gold or silver for the different types of the other 4 types. Then this has another ruling that is allowed. Okay, we'll not get into that because this is not our discussion. Now, brothers and sisters, if we go for all the categories that we have mentioned, I think they are all known for you. And it is easy to identify whether we are doing a transaction after the Jum'ah, or we are doing a transaction that has a cheating, or whether we are doing a transaction that has some darar, yeah, or whether there is a transaction that has a fasad, okay, or so on. Now, these are clear, and normally people are not involved in these things, generally speaking. The only thing that people might be involved in is what? Is riba. So any transaction, yeah, we should look at it. Does it have, do we do it after the Jum'ah became obligatory? Most likely no. Right. Now let us come to the 3 categories. Does it have, okay, does it have riba? If it doesn't have riba, then the biggest problem has been what? Taken away, because it doesn't have riba. Then it is easy to confirm that it doesn't have a cheating, yeah, it doesn't have fasad or darar, it doesn't create harm or darar, yeah, it doesn't create fasad in terms of other Muslims, and it creates hatred within the community. If it doesn't have riba, then most likely, inshallah, it will be halal. So the biggest obstacle is when the transaction has what? Has riba. Yeah, brothers, sisters, I am giving you the summary of Islamic finance. You know, a course that you should be taking it in 1 day or maybe more than that. I'm summarizing it in these, okay, 30 minutes or whatever, okay, time. Yeah. Now, let us come to the topic of buying houses through mortgage. What is the mortgage? Yeah, the mortgage is buying properties, okay, through the bank, whereby the bank lends you the money, but he does not transfer the money to you directly. The bank transfers the money to the landlord, and then the money will claim, the bank will claim the money from you, okay, over number of periods of time. If you fail to pay the bank has the right of mortgage. The word mortgage is like rahan. The bank has the right to repossess the property. Okay. Now, what is this? It is a clear riba. How it is a clear riba? Because the bank is lending you money to buy the property, and that money is maybe, let us say, 400,000 pounds for the property, yeah, and you are giving it back to the bank, you are paying it back to the bank as 650,000 pounds over 25 years. Okay, The bank has nothing to do with the property. The only thing is the bank has the right of mortgage, which is the right of repossessing the property if you fail to fulfill the conditions of the agreement. So the bank will repossess the property, will sell it in order to claim the original equity, the original investment, will try to cover the cost, all the costs, so the bank does not entail any loss. And then if there is a surplus, they will give it to you, but very likely that there is no surplus. So this is the mortgage transaction. It is a riba transaction, and therefore it is a haram transaction. And because, as we said, that it is riba, it is one of the major sins. It is not a minor sin. Now, can riba be allowed under necessity? Which means, can buying a property using conventional mortgage be allowed under the darura, or need? Can riba be allowed? What did I say? Can riba be allowed under necessity? Can we buy houses using mortgage because of necessity, whether extreme necessity or less than extreme necessity? And the answer is no, for a number of reasons. First of all, this is a major sin. And one time I said to the brothers, can the person he wants to commit zina, and he said, well, I'm desperate for zina, astaghfirullah al-azim. Okay, if I don't commit astaghfirullah, if he doesn't commit zina, then he will commit another crime. So can we say to him that, okay, go and commit zina once only? This is allowed? Of course, we cannot say that, because this is a major sin. The other main reason for that is the fact that, my dear respected brothers and sisters, riba is not a solution. Riba will add to the problem. As we said, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud said, الربا وإن كان if the riba, if it looks as a good solution, actually عاقبته إلى قل, it will lead to destruction of your wealth, destruction of barakah, and many people have confirmed this. It takes out the barakah from your life, from your children, from your wealth, from everything. Okay, now to explain this from a financial perspective, it takes time, but simply everyone, almost every economist, sincere economist, agrees that one of the key or the main, maybe one of the main, or the main problem behind the global recession that the world goes through, the world goes through now and then, the main reason behind those global recessions is what? Is riba. The last global recession, not this during this pandemic, but in 2008, it started because of what? Because of the prime mortgage, which is riba. They facilitated the riba, and everyone was involved in riba. They could not pay, and then the whole financial system was suffering because of this. Moreover, there is a diagram. It is maybe a bit complicated to go through that. That explains that the rise in the prices, the rise in the prices, whether the prices of properties, or mainly properties, or any other commodity, is because of riba in that commodity, in buying and selling such commodities. Yeah, it is a bit complicated to be explained now, but those who are involved in finance, they know this, that actually, because the banks are lending money and the people are buying, okay, and the banks have to get the money somehow, and the entrepreneurs will borrow from the banks. So it is a loop, and as a result of this loop, the banks, the prices will go up, yeah, and the inflation will keep increasing. Okay, so therefore, yeah, just a minute, please. Let me conclude.
Okay.
Therefore, I strongly advise that we يعني we exercise very يعني we become very careful when we are involved in such transactions, and we should not actually be involved in such transactions, because those transactions are يعني a clear haram, riba, and as we said, that riba is a major sin, is not just a minor sin that we can be involved in. Okay, whether it is for the first property, the second property, commercial property, residential, non-residential, it is all haram, because it is all based on riba. طيب, just finally in 2 minutes, now we see that alhamdulillah there are some alternatives. Okay, some alternatives. Some alternatives. Some of those alternatives are okay. Some of them, yeah, are problematic. Okay, this is a list of some of the alternatives. Yeah, can you see that?
No, yes, we can see, mashallah.
Okay, so some, يعني Al Bank provided an alternative. Gatehouse, the Ahli United Bank, Primary Finance, Stride Up, Way Home, Halo. We do not approve all these alternatives. The only one that is we approve is Halo. Okay, Halo, maybe Way Home, and Primary Finance. Al is very problematic. Gatehouse is very problematic. Al-Ahli is very problematic. The other ones I'm not I don't know about it. The Stride Up, okay, but Primary Finance, Way Home, Halo, طيب, sorry, the one we are confident of, Primary Finance and Halo. Most likely Stride Up and Way Home, they are similar to that. Okay, what is the difference between them? Yeah, here in this picture, you can see that the clear haram, okay, banks versus haram, but it is covered up. Al-Rayyan, Gatehouse, United, we do not approve them, although they call themselves as Islamic mortgage. And then we have these four. Okay, I'm confident of Halo and Primary Finance. Their schemes are halal schemes. Primary Finance is provided by Muslims. Halo is not provided by Muslims, but it is actually one of the halal alternatives, although it is provided by non-Muslims. And finally, another good alternative, brothers and sisters, which is the joint ownership between you and the council. This is really a very good alternative. Okay, inshallah, I have given a clear explanation about the riba. Okay, so I have to go in this structured way, and I did not go through the refutation of this fatwa that says it is allowed to go for the mortgage just to buy the first residential property. Yeah, I didn't want to go into the refutation of that fatwa from a technical perspective because of time, but this is just an overview picture of the issue of mortgage and what is halal and what is haram in it. Jazakum Allah khairan. And I am willing to receive your questions.
Yes, we appreciate that you have educated us, alhamdulillah, in this topic of al-mu'amalat in Islam, and that by default it is permissible unless there is prohibition in all the transactions, and you made it clear the main reason is Jazakallah khair. So we appreciate that. I have got a question about the ones that you said they are okay, like the halo.
Yeah.
Can you explain a bit so that the people they would know if they want to make use of it?
Yeah, go to their website, Halo. Yeah, okay. Halo My Home. It is called My Home. The product is called My Home. You select the property. Of course, it has to be approved by them. When it is approved by them, you pay part of the price of that property. Let us say 35%. Maybe now they do 20%, okay, of the property as a down payment, and it is part of the property price, actually, not just a down payment. And then over time you increase your share. Yeah, so now you own 20%, then you keep increasing it to 25, 27, 20, 30, 35, and so on. However, the key difference is, listen to this, brothers and sisters, the key difference between this, which makes it halal, and Al-Rayyan, and Gatehouse, and United, and okay, now there is no more Amana, financed by HSB, but all the other schemes is the fact that if at one particular point you are unable to carry on, so you bought 60% of the property and then you lost your job or whatever, and you said to them, you cannot continue, you will remain as a partner with Halo forever, whereby you own 60% of the property, they own 40% of the property, and you pay rent for the 40% of the property. The other banks, the other Islamic banks, I'm not talking about the conventional mortgage. The conventional mortgage is already haram, as we said, but the other banks, the Islamic banks or Islamic windows by Al-Rayyan, Gatehouse, and United, if you are unable to continue, they say, no, you must continue, otherwise you have to sell the property, yeah, or find another one to continue on your behalf. Why do they do this? Because the transaction is what? Is in reality, they lent you money and what? You are paying the money back to them. They did not. Actually, they are not interested in buying the property. They lent you money. You borrowed money from them, and therefore they want their money back. They are not interested in the property. So if you say to them that, listen, I cannot continue, khalas, you own 40%, they said, we are not interested in that. We want our money back, and by contract, you sign to give us our money back. Okay, so which is money for a different amount of money, which is nothing but riba. Yeah.
Yes, it's very clear. Jazakallah khair. If you could go and shed a little bit of light on the student finance, just briefly, because of maybe some of the viewers also like to
okay. Sure. Finance. What is a student finance? The student wants to study. Okay, he goes to the student finance company and he says, I found a place to study medicine in, let us say, Imperial College, yeah, or Birmingham University.
Yeah.
And so they said, no problem. It costs £10,000 a year. Yeah. And so we will pay the £10,000, which is the fees for the study, to the university. and then you have to pay us back, yeah, more money. Now this looks as a riba, but in reality, if you look at it, the money that supposedly they gave it to you, or they paid the fees on your behalf to the university, okay, supposedly, this money is not a loan to you. Yeah, it is not a loan. It is an investment. How it is an investment? Okay, they say to you, we are investing in you this much amount of money, which is supposedly has been given to you, which is the 10,000 pounds, the student fee, or the student fees, sorry, the tuition fees, and the maintenance, okay, loan. We gave it to you as an investment, because if you are unable to earn, then we don't take it from you. So how it is a loan? A loan, they don't care whether you started earning or you do not start. A loan, I gave you 10,000 pounds, you have to give it back to me irrespective. But this, if you are unable to work and you are unable to earn money, then we will wipe it out. So this is an investment. Moreover, if you die, then we clear it out. If you earn less than what is the threshold, then we don't ask you to pay back. So this is an investment. Okay, it is not a loan, and therefore it is not a riba. And I believe that we should go for it. There is no problem in that, inshallah, whether the tuition fees or the maintenance. Yeah.
Even the maintenance, because normally I get the student, but even the maintenance is also.
Yeah, even the maintenance, because the maintenance follows the same rule. If you are unable to earn money, then you don't have to pay. Yeah.
Jazakallah khair. That's beautiful. Finally, due to the COVID-19 and also some masajid, because of the restrictions and the people need to register and they have to keep, they combine last two prayers of the day, Maghrib and Isha, or a lot of times with the rain and the hard weather when it's raining. So is this something they will practically allowed to do, or is there any limitations or restrictions?
Okay, first of all, brothers, sisters, as far as it is not legally required to close the masajid should be open. Why? I have mentioned this number of times. No one, no human being, brothers and sisters, have any control over any masjid in the world. No one. Yeah, no one has control over haram. No one has control over the smallest masjid in the world. No one whatsoever. The entire humanity has no control over the masajid. The masajid, they are not our buildings. They are not our property. Whether they are awqaf or they are not awqaf. Once it is a place to pray, we made it a place to pray the 5 salawat, and people access it as a place to pray, yeah, then khalas, we lost control over it. Why is this? They are the houses of Allah Jalla Ala. وَأَنَّ الْمَسَاجِدَ لِلَّهِ فَلَا تَدْعُوا مَعَ اللَّهِ أَحَدًا فِي بُيُوتٍ أَذِنَ اللَّهُ. Allah is the one who gave permission that salah and dhikr should be proclaimed or established in that place. No one has the right to stop the dhikr of Allah under any justification in that masjid. Okay? Now, pandemic, not pandemic. We say to people who are afraid and those who may cause harm, don't attend. Yeah, but we cannot say close the masjid. It is not, we cannot close it. It's not. I hope that people understand this point. The masjid is not under my control. I am a masjid committee. Let us say I am the masjid committee or the chairman of the committee of the masjid. I am a servant for the masjid. I do what is not in favor of people, what is in favor of the masjid. So when I want to protect people, I want to protect people in order for them to do more dhikr of Allah Jalla Ala in the masjid. Don't say I am keeping their life because I want them to make dhikr of Allah Jalla Ala later. No, for each salah. Yeah. Now people don't want to attend. This is between them and Allah. People are sick. It is between them and Allah Jalla Ala. طيب. We should take the precautions. We should put all effort in order to make the dhikr of Allah Jalla Ala established in the masjid as Allah Jalla Ala wanted it to be. This is his house. Okay?
Exactly.
Now, so therefore, I urge all the masjid committees, please, don't close the masajid. It is not in your hands. I don't want to say that maybe, I don't want to say because people will start discussing this, yeah, and they will forget the main message, which is they might be sinful, yeah, and it is not a discussion of protection, the protection of life versus protection of deen. This is not the issue. The issue is, okay, do anything else, but don't close the masjid. It is not your house. You are a servant. It is Allah's house. Okay, as we have said. Okay, now take the precautions, social distancing, whatever. Worst come to worst, if we have no option but to pray in Jami', do it. Although Jami', again, my dear respected brothers and sisters, it is not the sunnah. Yeah, it is the sunnah as the Prophet ﷺ did it, but it is not a sunnah according to the definition of sunnah by the fuqaha, which is a practice, by usul al-fiqh, a practice that the Prophet ﷺ did it all the time. Okay, it is, it can be allowed, but it is not sunnah that should be done all the time. It can be done in a few cases, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Jazakumullah khair.
Some of the viewers also asking about whether we need to do dua al-qunut to ask Allah Azza wa Jal to remove this pandemic.
Yeah, wallah, this is a good question. I need to think about it and to consult other scholars. Okay, it's a good question, wallah. Let me look at it with some other scholars. Yeah.
Jazakallahu khairan, and we come to the end of the session, and we again thank you, Jazakallahu khairan. Inshallah, we are willing to contact you more and more to get.
Inshallah, no problem.
You, Jazakallahu khairan.
There was one question the brothers asked me in the beginning. There were a few questions in the beginning. I said let us discuss them later. Okay, and khalas. Okay, if they are.
We will have another session.
Okay, no problem if you are. Okay. Barakallah feekum, jazakumullah khaira. Barakallah feekum. And we ask Allah Jalla Ala to remove this calamity and to help all Muslims and to help the humanity. And my message to everyone, repent to Allah Jalla Ala. Go back to Allah Jalla Ala, brothers and sisters, before we think of the vaccination, no vaccination, masajid, no masajid. Let us think of relying on Allah Jalla Ala, asking Allah Jalla Ala for forgiveness. Repent to Allah Jalla Ala, as Allah Jalla Ala says, وَلَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا إِلَى أُمَمٍ مِّن قَبْلِكَ فَأَخَذْنَاهُمْ بِالْبَأْسَاءِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَضَرَّعُونَ. Allah Jalla Ala wants us to make tabarru', which is tawbah, dua, begging Him, humbling ourselves before him in order for Allah to lift this calamity. جزاكم الله خيرا. بارك الله فيكم. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
My dear brothers, I would like just to give you some glad tidings and good news about the coming up lectures for tomorrow, inshallah. Tomorrow we have Sheikh Ali Haiji, an expert in social relationships, and is going to give us lectures about beneficial lecture activities for families. Inshallah, that's for tomorrow evening, same time, 6 o'clock. On Saturday evening, 6 o'clock, there is a family online quiz, which is very, very important and exciting. And there are prizes to be won. So I want you also to, inshallah, take part and tune in. That is Saturday, 23rd of January, 6 p.m. at Quba. And tomorrow, 22nd of January, at again 6 p.m. at Quba with Sheikh Ali Haiji. Jazakumullah khair. And you follow us, inshallah, and share the information. Barakallah fikum. وجزاكم الله خير. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.